about prototyping of user interface in Thales. Before you explain that, just a word about us. So I'm Pierre Laborde. I'm a UI design manager in the team. Daily I'm a graphical designer and UX designer, I prefer ergonomist. And I developed a part of our framework, SMOCK, our prototyping framework, Smalltalk, of course, and some prototypes.
And hello, I'm Eric.lepors. I work also with Pierre in the user interface prototyping framework. I'm the architect of the framework today, and I'm also the software specialist, expert, on all the low end or the back end of all the bricks we have in the prototyping framework.
So we are working in Thales, a big company. We are in France, in the city of Brest, west of the France. We are building in our division Defense Mission Systems. We are embedded in some of carrier like plane, boats, tank, submarine, satellite. But usually I'm not in a satellite. They are on the build. We have long life products with 20 years.
Sometimes we take 20 years.
Yeah.
More than.
Yeah. Difficulty for us is to have final users for define the solution, because our customers are not our final users. Our final users are military guys. There are difficulty to we have difficulty to access to them.
Yeah, globally, our users are from the French Navy or maybe civilian coast guards, and there are some. Every time they are aboard their plane or their ships, and it's not easy for us to have them and to build their user interfaces. So when we have them in front of us, we have to just be efficient in capturing all their needs and to build the correct user interfaces. And we represent, okay, what's the context of our users? It's a stressful environment. Let's imagine you are in a plane, the plane is shaking, and the user has to execute complex tasks, like identifying the situation out the plane, and everything must be done in a short period of time. So the user interfaces have to be simple, have to be efficient, and it's our job to manage.
And very easily to use for a young part of our user.
Yeah.
So for that, we have SMOCK for speed mockup. It's a process and a framework. Process for capture user needs, and framework for prototype beautiful user interface very quickly. For that, we are using Smalltalk since 12 years, only for prototyping. For others. So just a word.
An overview of the process.
Yeah, about our process. First, we observe our user in situation. We interview, video, simulation on existing system to collect information, review, evolution.
Yeah. And we note all what is something efficient in the current system, and all that is, things that scratch when you do something that is very irritating. Okay, everything is noted, and in the second step we go to paper mockup. You go with them, you draw something on the screen on a paperboard, and you draw with them what they want to do with their user interfaces. It's not the solution, but we want to have their opinion on what they want to do. But after that, we compile all the informations, the good points, the bad points of the current system, and we propose our solutions embedded in a mock-up. And the first step of the process is just specifying with mock-ups, dynamically modified by us in front of them for some parts.
For example, when I'm doing design with an SVG editor, we have the possibility to transfer it directly to SMOCK for animate and create our prototypes. And after, so it's an iterative process. And after, the first step is send our work to our industrial team, with our framework, embedded framework for powerful performance, etc., security, and it's a good process since 10 years.
Yeah, and when you follow all the steps, classical steps, but if you follow that, your users that have built the system with you all along this process will accompany you to explain these new user interfaces to all other users. And it's more efficient to use, to transmit information to other users when it's done by users themselves. They say, okay, when you click on that, you act on this, it do what before it takes 10 clicks, or it was very complicated to do that, and we have simplified this thing for all the teams that are working for this with this software. And they share their problems, they explain how they have solved with us the solution. It's very interesting for us and for them.
So in SMOCK we have some features, and we can make dynamic user interface. The Smalltalk property can provide property of live conception without restart. Our user likes that. And it's possible to manipulate real data from the mission, from the ground, with our simulators. And our objective is to have a real system for the user. Is on the screen, and you use the prototype as a real system with the same message, same reaction, same environment.
And the data have to be real, because if the data are just simple things, simple names that could not correspond to their data model they use, they don't go in the mock-up phase. They don't perceive the complexity of what we want to show to them. If they see their own data, they understand why we have done that in this way. Okay.
And the last part is a bridge to industrial development. The first step of our process.
We didn't talk about the second part.
So it's important for us to transfer a lot of assets to industrial teams. So many
binary files, colors, state machines, components definition with the element we have perceived in the mock-up files. We transmit to the industrial team. That helps them to make the software cost dimension.
So why Smalltalk? You know that, I think. For best properties, for our best properties language for prototyping, because live modifications.
Yes.
It's incredible. But the language is very intuitive for us. Its possibility to modeling and programming same time. Very easy to learn for our collaborators with a simple syntax. It's very easy to use.
Yeah, it's true that we have some colleagues that didn't know a single line of Smalltalk before, began with us in the project, and in 1 month of Smalltalk coding with us, they will be able to just create complex user interfaces with Smalltalk. And going back to industrial context after, saying to us, okay, I go to Java AE, Smalltalk debugger is missing, and I want to do some live debug, and you know when you are in Smalltalk, the user interface open, and there is a bug. Okay, so the debugger is here, you just modify, apply, and everything continues. Classical. But in Java, sometimes you have to stop all, restart, restore all the database, and okay, going back and trying to reproduce a problem which never happened. So we can put debug points in Java, but not the ability to, I think, modify all the class structures, the instance variable, and so on, that we are able to do in Smalltalk. Even create a class live and add additional data that the customer wants to see in user interface, just in live programming. I've done that in front of customers. I was like, oh yes, it's that I want to see. So we check, it's okay.
So a little overview of our framework. We are based on a component model. It's a lightweight component model implementation. All of our software architecture are based on a component model, and after we developed the user interface with some tools. We have a 2D graphical engine, so that's my job. It's a design job oriented, because when I'm a graphical designer, I build a graphical engine for my drawing in programmation. It's like Block or JavaFX.
Yes, it's very similar.
And we have some widgets on the top of this graphical engine, some buttons, list, and circular menu, more exotic widgets, and a UI editor. It's important for us to define the panels, the button graphically with no code. So it's possible to create and save each part of the UI and re-instantiate it when the prototype is running.
We have invented a mechanism, simple, but to serialize and deserialize all the user interface look. Sort of code, certainly, but it's not Smalltalk code native. And we have the ability to save it, to transfer it to other colleagues, and to import it in another virtual machine, and everything is working on the other interface machine, virtual machine. And, okay.
So we have a user environment simulation with an editor. We have a video of that. And after, georeferenced interactive view, so that's my part 2. We need some geographical view with object georeferenced on it. Google like or NASA Orbit if you want. Yeah, network tools is you.
Yeah, it's me. We use different kind of network connections because we have to build, it's imagine, we have to build 5 or 6 desktops connected. The one built for the one on the others, and when an operator is modifying something on one station, he modifies on all other workstations, and all the network capacity to distribute all the situation to all the other workstations is made using pure Smalltalk. There is many possibilities, TCP/IP, just basic connections, but also using a 0MQ distributed connection. connections, and maybe Corba connections for some tools that we have that communicate in Corba. And I've made with that the ability to monitor from distant laptop. I can monitor all the mockups that are running, and I'm able to transmit with kind of Oz magician process. I can transmit false. Transmit false data that told to the users and simulate the behavior of a real system.
So we support innovative device with some multi-touch surface, some screens of multi-user table, pretty cool. Some VR headset like HTC Vive, gamepad, Xbox pad, joystick, 8 trackers, some innovative device. So we have some video. Just a video about, it's a compilation of our project in Thales.
Is it working? Yeah.
Good.
When the user interface. Okay, it's a Smalltalk editor that we have built. The ability here to create maybe a button and live coding. Just create a button, make the orientation, put a label, and it's available to the user directly. Here you have
references.
Yes, examples of menus that we have built with our graphical framework. All the elements here have been drawn by Smalltalk directly using the graphical framework. All the animation has been programmed using this framework, and you can see the results that we have obtained with our motif framework. Here you find another version of the graph you've seen just previously. And this graph we are reused and reshaped graphically. We have just changed all the look and feel, but reused the complete technique of the widget. And here we simulate electro-optic device by scrolling just a picture, but it's sufficient for the customer to see how the system will work with a real camera. It's not necessary to have a 3D model, just a simple pictures, it's sufficient. Here you have the examples of circular menus to command the classification of a ship and the measurement of the distance that we have from friend aircraft to the hostile aircraft that were in the zone.
So it's another video about our scenario editor.
Yeah, also made with our graphical framework. Everything was drawn with the framework, and we can pilot all the simulation elements of our scenario directly from this user interface. And when we move it on this scenario editor, when the scenario is playing, if a mockup is connected to the simulation environment, even in the same VM or separated VM using network capacity as I've talked before, will show the ability to play the scenario, and we rewind it and dynamically make the thing evolve just using the sliders. And here you can see we program
just reboot with one jeep and one aircraft. It's not complicated. But everything is in Smalltalk with our framework, with widget, Gantt, geographical view. That's application is interesting because all of our features are here. except VR or 3D. But it's possible to move to place on the time all object for simulate our big system.
Yeah, the tactical situation.
So what's next? Eric, you talk about our model?
Our component model is a lightweight core component model implementation because we have in our service two parts. A mock-up team, Pierre, me, and other people, and an industrial team which is in charge to develop Java user interfaces. And they have a core component model implementation for their user interfaces. So to be able to capture all components that we imagine in mock-up phase, we re-implement the same thing in Smalltalk. So when we finish the mock-up phase, we just make an estimation of how many components we have in mock-ups, and with the same kind of properties, service events, and the same decomposition in the software. And we transmit all these information to our colleagues in the industrial phase. Okay, so I have to reveal something more complex, but what we capture in the complexity in the mock-up phase will be transmitted to all the industrial team and avoid them to do the same mistakes that we have done in mock-up phase. So we have made a re-implementation of this core component model in Faro with Alain Plantec in Brest.
Not for this subject.
Also, we need to understand the how using traits for the core implementation in Faro to exploit all the possibility of Faro to enhance the versions that we have of our previous core component model. And we want to open it soon because we have all the papers but not signed already to put it under MIT license to be open to the community to use components that are able to build some cool applications.
We hope to talk about that on the next ESUG.
Yes.
Maybe it's possible. More technical presentation. And after the second is UI modeling language. It's work in progress with Alain Plantec, Olivier Grisva, and Norbert Fournier. It's open source MIT license. Our objective is to define a UI directly from user needs and generate the UI in any kind of framework, SMOCK, Break, jQuery, maybe.
Maybe we'll make a specific talk on that maybe next year when everything will be clear. Yeah. Because it's starting just right now and we are working on it, but we wanted to just talk about it just right now and maybe next year expose more about that.
So just for finish, a small VR demo with we are using Wooden from Ronnie. The video is available on the YouTube Faro project channel, if you want. So we have Faro on the right and on the left the native video view. So
let's imagine I have the headset.
You can see the menu of Faro, or changing the color of the sea on the top of the pad.
It's a block element that it is inserted in the engine.
So it's Eric, you're playing with the NH Vive.
Yeah, you see, I can take, even if I have the headset, I can take the stick just because it is at the right position, so the engine is really well done.
So it's a carrier, you can move in the carrier.
And you see the two pictures that you have for each eye. You have the perspective with the two eyes, and when you are just on the right, on the video, you put at the center of the when the airplane go to the ground.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes through you, and with the perspective effect, it's oh wow, it's a very strange effect. You know it's false. You know it's not a real plane that's coming to you, but the effect is here, and okay, impressive.
We done is an impressive engine because three screens are generated at each millisecond.
Yeah.
One for the desktop PC and one for each A on the computer set.
Okay.
So powerful. So I need to close after with a furrow. Do it and close the.
You see the airplane sometimes. And you have the ability to dynamically add 3D elements to your scene. It's very interesting to make 3D mockups on imagine that your customer wants to see his room or his future desktop. And okay, can you add here PC on a monitor? Okay, you are able to do it because you can know where is the 3D joystick and put just a 3D element at this position. And it's possible to create a 3D element, load the 3D model, and insert it in the 3D environment. Just do it. And, okay, it's
So that was a little presentation of our work. So thank you for your attention. If you have any question, don't hesitate.
So the 3D models, they can be sourced externally from external sources, or do we have to build them?
We have to build with Blender. When the
open source.
Okay. So how easy would be this to apply in like civil aviation or aviation training in general, like for pilots? I'm asking because my son is a flight instructor, so this would be awesome to work on.
To create a situation, and maybe let's imagine that we connect with our simulator driller. We can connect planes. We can also program all the altitude, the 3D position of the object, and play a scenario. So when you learn to people to manage an airport, they have simulator like this. But here you have also the ability to debug it live and to maybe modify the scenario, go back, and yes, you have the ability to build a full scene, but not so complex because, okay, maybe now maybe because we use 3 screens, we have to stay on simple models, but it's sufficient for us to, everything that we have shown you is sufficient to make people to understand what we want to show us, to show them. So, and if you want to answer, okay. Yes, I responded to the question, but yeah, you can use this and reuse all parts. I think has been published for that. Discuss after, but we can discuss about that after.
Yes. Yes, impressive. Really impressive. I have a question regarding the prototypes design. So as I understood, so the team, you and after. Okay, so your team actually building prototypes.
Yeah.
And when you are happy with the prototypes, you give it back to the production team.
Yes.
So what is really like the difference? I mean, have you seen some cases where the product is inferior to the prototype?
I'm here for I'm here for controlling each pixels from prototype and industrial version.
The first version of the industrial product, sometimes they don't pay attention on all graphical details. But it's as in security, it's a behavior that you have to inject in your things. You have to be sensible on this user design thing.
I understand that what just wondering, like, why not to use your prototype as a product? Like, how far your prototype is from the product?
Yeah. The objective is to have the same thing, the prototyping phase, but even better in performance, in the robustness of the product, in the industrial version of the product. They use, in the industrial context, bricks that have been tested on a lot of projects. So the bricks are very robust and very efficient. A lot of time, our mock-up products are inferior because there are no...
BD, for example.
For projections like for the tactical views that you have seen, we just use one or two maybe projections. In industrial context, they have a lot of other projections. They have the ability to show maybe 10, maybe thousands, depends on the technology they use, thousands times more graphical elements to the users that we do in prototyping phase.
So that's our travel in Faro for georeferencing view with block. It's the beginning, but you can see here our application with a randomized object on the world map with different projection. Is it Mercator projection? And I can change the projection for Universal Thales Mercator. And I have an overview with same objects but different projection. And our industrial framework provide more and more functionalities that we don't have to prototype.
No, because they know they're able to do it. But you just say to the customer, okay, in the final version we have all that more than we have done in the mock-up phase. But in the mock-up phase, they have to, okay, imagine what will be their user interfaces, and all the look and feel, all the interactions that we have programmed will have to be the same in the industrial version. It don't have to be less than that, but it has to be much more. Yeah?
I have a couple of questions. First, you know there's a lot of academic people in the room, and my first question is, what do you think next being an industrial partner specific doesn't look like being the team science or consulting? What is specific and as an industrial partner like Thales? That's my first question. And the second one, which is obviously related, is why are you here? I mean, I feel you can bring a lot of things to the community, but on the other side, I don't get precisely what you expect from the community. Move on in your own business.
Yes. All what we have done this recent time was done with the collaboration of people that work in like Smalltalk in the Brest University. And what we want to do is to give a feedback of why do we use Smalltalk, what is our context of using Smalltalk, and maybe give you maybe the opportunity to tell us, okay, maybe you can use our framework to do this or that more efficiently than you have done here. Maybe I've seen a lot of very interesting presentations here, and I think that showing to you all our examples and what we are able to do, that we want to say is that we want to do the same, but also in open source world. We want to bring some of these bricks to under MIT license to create also like a user interface community in the Smalltalk world, because I think Smalltalk is a very good candidate to create prototyping frameworks, prototyping tools with a lot of industrial or non-industrial contexts. I think everybody here is using Smalltalk because it's very efficient to build for I don't know what to say, but, to build projects and show. Yeah. So yeah.
Congratulations. I have one question regarding the collaborative design. Can you explain how do you manage these collaborative workshops and when you participate and how do you which kind of tools do you use?
Well, for collaborative workshops, we have end users first. We have software specialists. The industrial version of our software specialist. The graphical prototypers, Pierre or me, and an ergonomist specialist that and we brainstorm all together on different subjects. We take all the functionalities of the user interface and we decompose it, and maybe we exchange, we create mock-ups, we create not only one time, we go one time on one subject, and the next time we go to another subject, but between the two phases we show the result of the first phase and have feedbacks and go on and go on and go on until all the functionalities have been mock-up. And after, everything, if the customer is satisfied of the graphical user interfaces, interactions, is signed, and we go to the realization after.
There is a limitation.
Yeah.
But this.